Hi everyone. Today let's see about Amazon Athena. So Amazon Athena is an interactive query service that makes easy to analyze data over AWS S3. So if you have an S3 data on S3, we can without any setup. So we can make use of Amazon Athena to query the data in S3 using SQL queries. So Athena is serverless and there is no infrastructure to set up or manage, and you only pay for the queries you run. So for every 1 TB of data scanned for over S3, you will be charged $5. So that is a brief introduction of Athena. We'll see how it works. So l- uh, I will go through console AWS console to familiarize with it. So let's see for the query. So you need to keep your data in S3. So this is the data which I have placed in S3. So you can upload your data too. So let's do for simplicity. Let's create an S3 bucket, and I'll show you the creating S3 bucket and also uploading the data. Athena analysis bucket S3. You can make it. Yeah, it's fine. We can. I'm using a North Virginia region. So at some point we need to make sure the Athena which you going to create and the S3 bucket are in same region for basically uh, reducing the latency and cost. It's better to have Athena and S3 bucket in same region. And let's upload the data. So it's basically I'm using a California housing data set, which is known to many of you. So for simplicity, I'm using this CSV file, California housing, and let's upload to S3 bucket. So now data is in S3 bucket, CSV data, and let's create an Athena. So in the Athena, so basically there are two ways to basically query that data in S3 bucket via Athena. So one is using directly created. There are ways only. There are, like we can directly create a table in Athena, and we can start query that table via SQL queries. The other way is using glue crawler. So if we don't know the basically structure of the schema and the structure of the data in S3, we can basically crawl the data using AWS glue crawler and use the and then create a table and use the table for query via Athena. So basically in the first way, two ways. So first way, when you know the table and structure of the table and the columns and everything, features and everything, then you just go directly to Athena and basically create a table and use the table to query. Second way, if you don't know the schema and if you want to automate the generation of schema of the uh, data in present in S3 bucket, you need to use glue. You can use glue crawler, and you can get the schema of the data in S3 and create a table, and then use the table to query in Athena. So these are the two ways. Let's see these two ways. Let's go to first way. So let's query the data or Athena. So open Athena, search for Athena and go to query editor. So I have listed queries. So I will refer this in this video. I will attach them too. So the queries are simple. So first it will create a database if not exist. So I named it as housing database. Uh, so if you select this and run, it will run only that query. So let's see, the database is created. Yeah, housing data DB is created. Now let's create a table. So what exactly it is doing is create external table if not exists. So this is the table name, and these are the columns which we already know, and these are the data types, and they are, since it is a CSV file, they are terminated by comma, and lines are terminated by slash and its location, and header line count we can skip it. So let's run this. So a data table, a table is created, Athena table. Now let's preview the table. See, the data is coming. House area, average rooms, average bedrooms, like this. So you can run your query from here, like where house is house is greater than equal to 21, let's say. So we made it as a double, right? So uh, we can query, so we can see the runtime also. So this query here, it is completed in 0.4 second. Data, what the scan is 1.83 MB, and time in queue. Okay, so we can further reduce the query time and data scan using partitioning and also converting it to the Parquet format, which we will see later. So this is how we query in the Athena. The other way is using the second way, which I told, where we don't know this basically columns and the data types. We are not sure and we don't know. We can go to glue crawler, search for glue crawler, sorry, glue, AWS glue service, and the screen will be open. So, and databases, tables, and crawlers, this is the one we can use to basically crawl the data, S3 data, and create a schema for the table. So one thing as an extension to the previous previous thing I want to mention is, whatever we are creating the databases and table external table, Athena behind the screens uses AWS Glue only. So that's why you can see the databases which we created via Athena query here, and tables also. Now what we'll do is we'll use the crawler, and we will basically scan the data of S3. We can add crawler. So housing, let's name it as housing data crawler crawl our folders. Okay, but we directly use S3 bucket. So for S3 data store, possibility are like DynamoDB, MongoDB, JDE, basic like RDS. Those are the things which we can choose. For S3, we no need to have a connection. So include path. Need to include path. The bucket we created is Athena bucket. So California, and we can create an IAM role or choose an existing role. So if you have an existing role, then or let's create a new role. I have an existing role crawler, so I'm using this. So this role need to have access to the particular Athena bucket which you are referring. I mean Athena bucket in sense where the data is present, where database. Let's use the same database which we created previously, or you can add a database also. What we'll do is we'll add a prefix glue crawl, so that they are distinguishable between the previous table which is created by Athena query. Let's finish, and let's run the crawler. So it will take some time. Let's pause the video. Just 2-3 minutes it will take.